There's not a lot of spread decks in the Pokemon TCG right now. Sure, you have Sableye from Lost Origin, and Rapid Strike Inteleon, and Rapid Striker Shifu, but there's no real spread deck that is doing damage on top of damage to all your opponent's Pokemon every turn. Until now. What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanning here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. We're here in PTCG Live today, and we're taking a look at the brand new Vespiqueen EX from Obsidian Flames. The set just released a couple of days ago, and I could not be more excited to look at this card. Vespiqueen EX is 270 HP. Normally it's a grass type, but because it's Terra, it is a psychic type right now, and it's got a really cool attack in Phantom Queen. For 3 grass energy, it's a pretty hefty cost, but you're doing 200 damage, and you're putting 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. This is an incredible attack. This attack is so strong, especially if you can strike fast and strike hard and strike first. And your opponents, before they evolve all their little Pokemon, they get damage on top of damage on top of damage, and it makes it easier to KO down the line, or you just pick off a lot of their little support Pokemon along the way. What do we have to support Vespiqueen EX though? We're rocking a 4-3 line with Combee, with the Honey Courier attack. In case we're going second and we can't, do too much, we can Honey Courier and try and find ourselves an item to use on the following turn. But Vespiqueen EX is the main star of the show here, obviously. We're rocking a 2-2 line of Bidoof and Bibarel for some draw support, as well as 2 copies of Mew from Celebrations. That Mysterious Tail ability is so good at getting us those item cards, such as Battle VIP Pass, to help us set up. We're also playing 1 copy of Manaphy so we don't get destroyed by Greninja, and 2 Hawlucha from Scarlet and Violet so we can spread damage on our opponent's Pokemon, to use Vespiqueen EX's attack to spread more damage on them. This is truly a spread deck at its core. And we even got Radiant Alakazam to move those damage counters around and perform some crazy plays. On top of that, we're playing a 1-1 line of Leafeon V for support. There's a number of reasons why I think Leafeon V belongs in this deck, because Greeting Cells helps your turn 1 so much, getting a diverse energy spread, as well as Leafeon V-Star acting as a very solid attacker into the Charizard EX matchup, because Charizard EX obviously weak to grass because it's a dark type, so we can use Leaf Guard, take a knockout on Charizard EX, and then they won't be able to take a return KO on us because we're also taking 30 less damage in the next turn. Ivy-Star as well, very good V-Star power to use because it's just a free boss's orders. Who doesn't love a free boss's orders? So Leafeon V and V-Star very good in this deck. In terms of trainers, we're rocking 4 Battle VIP Pass, 2 Nest Ball, and 4 Ultra Ball. We also have a Super Rod in here to get our Pokemon and energy back from the discard, as well as an Escape Rope and a Switch to pivot our Pokemon. We're rocking 2 EXP Share to keep our energies into play. That's kind of part of the main energy acceleration of this deck. We're also playing 2 Pokégear to help us search for supporters off of Mew and just kind of find our supporters, because we're using Gardenia in this deck. That's right, we're playing 4 copies of Gardenia's Vigor in order to draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, attach up to 2 grass energy from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. That's our main way of powering up Vespiqueen in this deck, and I've actually had some pretty good success with it so far. It's kind of surprising, I know. And in order to ensure that we have all of the energies we need, we do have a single copy of Letter of Encouragement in here. This is a brand new card from Obsidian Flames, which lets you search your deck for 3 basic energies, put them into your hand, only if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So if you get knocked out, you can Letter of Encouragement, search, grab all your energy, and boom, you're good to go. We also are playing 3 Gapejaw Bog to also have damage on our opponent's Pokemon when they bench Pokemon onto the field. In terms of our supporters, we got 4 Gardenias, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Boss, 1 Iono. The list is very tight, but because we have the Pokégears in here that we can search off of Mew, you're realistically getting whatever support you need when you need it. In terms of energy, we're playing 12 grass energy, and that's basically the list. The list is very streamlined and simple in a way. It has one game plan, and it aims to do the game plan at any cost, no matter what. And I think that the deck is actually very successful. I mean, it might not be the best time in the meta for it because of Charizard being a dark type and not a grass type. We're a psychic type, so we're weak to dark. But you know what? I still love Vespiqueen, and we're still gonna catch some dubs with it today, so let's get into the games. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. Tails never fails, that's what I always say. So we're gonna take a look and see what they do here. We get Tails, it has not failed. So we're absolutely gonna choose to go first. All I want for this game is a decent start and a win. So we're going to see what we begin with. Would have been a very bad hand if we had a basic, that's for sure. But they are going to see what we're up, like exactly what they're up against. So this is okay. You only take the one mulligan. Much better hand for sure here. Something I'm a lot more content with. So we are going to see what we can start with here. Want to get that Leafeon down. Want to try and find that energy so we can get a double attachment. There's a Radiant Zard, so we might be up against a Charizard deck. Start with the VIP. Leafeon is thankfully here. We're also going to grab Bidoof, but we're going to take a look at what else is in the deck. We have all our Vespiquens. We have our Leafeon VSTAR. We have, I think both the Gardenias are in our hand. Both Research, Boss, Rope. We're missing a VIP. We're missing an Ultra Ball. We're missing a couple energy. 4 energy to be exact. So things might be a little bit tough here, I won't lie to you. But we should be in a decent enough spot because we have a Bibarel guarantee next turn. We Mysterious Tail. We grab VIP. And I don't even want to play it, to be honest. There's nothing that I want on the bench right now. So I think the goal is we just leave it. We'll literally just Greening Cells. I'm gonna Greening Cells to, I don't know what we're up against, so I'm gonna go to the Combee because they're not gonna get Charizard this turn anyway, so that's fine. That's fine with me. Start spreading some damage around. Our goal is probably gonna be Vespiquen, Leafeon, Vespiquen. I just think that that's what makes the most sense. Here's a Zinnia's Resolve, so we're gonna get to take a look at exactly what they're playing. Getting rid of an Artisan and a Mesagoza. Don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they would get rid of the Artisan. Maybe because they had another one in their hand. But here they are going for the Artisan, grabbing a Jinx. What is this? Once knocked out with damage from Pokemon V, your opponent can't take prize cards for it. Here's a cast form. It's a cast form deck. That's why they got rid of 2 stadiums. Okay. So this Jinx could be very interesting. However, this is going to be hopefully a decent matchup for us because we can spread damage. They're all low HP Pokemon, and we just go boom, 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 and then get everything good to go. They might not even know what we're playing. Well, they saw our Vespiquen, so they do know what we're playing against. But things are looking to be okay here. So this is what I want to do first. I want to Mysterious Tail. I want to see if we can grab Ultra Ball is good. That's exactly what I wanted. So we can Ultra Ball away VIP and Combee. And we can grab our good pal Bibarel. And then we can Ultra Ball away this Iono and Gardenia. Don't want to play the Artisan just yet because I want to see if I can find myself a Hawlucha. Which might be better to find the Hawlucha now. Yeah, in case we don't attack this turn, actually. So we'll grab the Hawlucha. We'll just start prepping our opponent's bench Pokemon. Flying Entry. Now we can go for the Industrious Incisors here. Grab a bunch more. We get exactly what we need. Here is the Gardenia. We get a Combee and a Hawlucha, but we're gonna power up. Yeah, we're gonna power up that Combee. We will drop that Gapejaw Bog, and we'll go for another Greening Cells here, and we will get this energy going onto this Combee here. So our next turn is looking that it can be something decent. They got 3 stadiums in their discard. They need 8, I think, to attack. So you know what? We're doing okay. They are stuck with Radiant Charizard in the active too, which is good to help us set up a little bit more. They may not be playing too many Switch cards, as Cast Form has free retreat. This Jinx has a 2 retreat, but they have a double turbo on it. Here comes a Serena. They might bring up our Leafeon. That's completely okay with me because it's still 1 Pokemon retreater. They are bringing the old Cemetery down, and they're gonna pass. Okay, that's not too bad. We do top deck a Research, which always helps. So we're gonna play that Research. No more Hawlucha, but that's okay. We do get the energy. We do get the Vespiquen, so I'm happy with that. We can also EXP share to this one. We can get our Pokégear for Gardenia, and we will attach. We're gonna take a little bit of damage, but that's okay, because we're just gonna aim to go for 2 Vespiquens here. We should only have to go through 2 Vespiquens. So now we are going to Industrious for 1 card. Super Rod is actually pretty solid, but I don't want to use it quite yet. And here's the Phantom Queen herself, doing 200 damage and spreading 30 to both of their benched Pokemon. Now the good thing is, next turn, Cast Form says bye-bye, because we do use the spread damage on it. So they're going to leave it to Cast Form for retreat, obviously, but my guess is going to be that they go for the Jinx here. Now I'm still curious, they have 3 in the discard. Here is 4 stadiums in the discard. They can't attack just yet. Manaphy coming down, doesn't matter. And they're gonna bring down Luxray. Luxray is a very interesting card too in this. So you're gonna bring those fellas down. There's a reversal energy. They're gonna hit us pretty hard with that reversal, but it does take damage. So if we're able to find our boss or our anything else, actually, we can maneuver around that and manipulate that damage. However, this Cast Form is getting knocked out anyways. You only got 1 card left, and it's an Iono, but this could prove good for us because, I mean, Escape Rope's not that bad either, but I'd rather leave the Cast Form on the bench. We do also have our other Vespiquen here. They're going to keep Trekking Shoes. This Cast Form deck seems interesting, I won't lie. The Cast Form has always been a pretty cool archetype. Don't know if it'll ever thrive, to be honest with you, but it could. I mean, it's got 1 more block before it rotates, so it could be, now could be the time, you know? They're gonna Wild Charge us for 180, doing 20 to themselves, which is also good for our spread archetype here. But doesn't look like there's much more we can do. We can drop this EXP share over here. We'll Industrious Incisors 1 more time, which proves good actually, but Gardenia would have found that card anyway. So let's Gardenia here. We grab 2 cards, both these going on Vespiquen. We don't take any damage from the Old Cemetery. And now, okay, this is something we could do. We could Escape Rope, but they're just going to bring up Cast Form. That's the obvious choice. So here's the Phantom Queen herself. We're taking 2 knockouts this turn. We get rid of that Luxray because it's the only thing doing damage, so it's more important. And we also get rid of that Cast Form, so we can attach, or we can take a prize card, and then that gets knocked out. We can also take a prize card. However, this Jinx is going to be able to come up, and it's going to be able to knock out our Vespiquen because its attack, Psychic Assault, is basically just going to do equal to how much damage we have on us. So they're going to get back in the prize race. However, our Escape Rope is very important because we can Escape Rope and take a multi-prize turn this turn. Unless they're playing some type of wacky healing card. If they're playing a wacky healing card, not good for us. Down comes another Jinx. And out comes another Zinnia. And their Zinnia is going to be able to discard more cards, drawing a bunch more for them. There is the Mesagoza coming down. Mesagoza could be good for us because it could actually allow us to find a Hawlucha and seal up the game, basically, by giving us access to spread onto the Manaphy and onto whatever Cast Form they bring, or whatever other Pokemon they bring. They have another Luxray in here, which, honestly, this could be its own archetype. You don't even need the Cast Form. You could just play Jinx Luxray, and you Luxray, Jinx, Luxray, Jinx, Luxray, Jinx. They get tails on their own Mesagoza, and I doubt they'll bring the Luxray down just yet. Oh, never mind, they do. So could be a good target to potentially. Well, are they just gonna go into the reversal? No, okay. I was gonna say that makes 0 sense. Don't do that. Don't do that, my friends. We do have the EXP share online. We should conserve as many energy as we can. Now we do have to think about this. We're gonna go into Mew, absolutely, and we're gonna go for first the Mesagoza. Let's hopefully get that Hawlucha. We do get the Hawlucha, which is awesome, unless it's in the discard pile. It is in the discard pile, but that's okay. We can grab ourselves the Leafeon, and we have a guaranteed boss, so that's good too. It's not all doom and gloom. We can burn this Nest Ball. Don't exactly need it. We do have Rod still. We can attach to this Leafeon. We probably should have Mysterious Tailed first, actually, because we got the Rod, so we could have had our Hawlucha, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. We'll get back Hawlucha, get back some energies. Actually, we should get back Alakazam as well. So go back Hawlucha, Alakazam, and Energy, which works for me. So now I think I'm just gonna go for the escape rope play. I think it makes the most sense. Go for the escape rope and go into the Vespiqueen. And we see what exactly they're going to bring up. Anything they bring up gets knocked out. So they need to think to themselves, what's worth getting knocked out? Obviously the answer is nothing. But, like, nothing's going to survive. So they might as well bring up something that's not useful to them. My guess would be the Manaphy. Yeah, that sounds about right. So here comes our Vespiqueen. Hopefully we can luck sack the Hawlucha. We don't. We get Alakazam though. But we're not going to use Alakazam. We're just going to Phantom Queen and take 2 knockouts here. And that basically secures us the game because we just knock out anything, literally anything with Leafeon next turn. And we have the boss built into the Leafeon. So that is part of Leafeon and V-Star's power here. We just take our prize cards. You know, we get that energy into our hand from our prizes. They choose their active. They can go out with a bang if they so wish to. But it doesn't matter. I don't think there's a way they can win unless they try and boss and stall us, but none of that is going to work. There's no dark Pokemon they could be playing in this deck, I don't think. I could also be wrong. Here's a Zinnia. They do draw a lot of cards with this deck, surprisingly, so that's pretty good. Also, what does that Bonsley do? I've never seen that card before. Confuses the active and it's got free retreat. Okay, pretty cool. Here comes a cast form. And we're gonna see. There's the double turbo. Okay, yeah. I'm just thinking if there's any way for them to potentially win, but there's not. Unless they try and rope us into Jinx. And then they try and just stall, do chip damage, and think and hope that we don't have boss. But we do have boss. It's built in on Leafeon. Unless they play Path. If they play Path, then things get a little more complicated. If they go into Jinx, boss Leafeon, play Path, but they can't boss. So it would have to be rope Path into Jinx. Like rope. No, but even rope doesn't matter. Never mind. Even rope doesn't matter because I just get rid of the. I just give him something different, and I have the energy to retreat in hand, and then I just go into Vespiqueen. So things are pretty good. Things are pretty great, I would say, about this matchup. I think they're trying to think if there's anything they could do as well. Unfortunately, it does not seem like it. Potentially just stalling out. I don't know. I don't know what they're up to. But in all honesty, I think this is like one of the best showings of the deck because it worked as intended. You got a decent setup, got your Pokemon powered up, and you were just able to spread to all of the little Pokemon. There's a Primordial Altar coming down. Their cast form can attack for free at this point, but it's a bit too little too late. It could have been scary if they got their cast forms up sooner, because if they got their cast forms up, I mean right now, yeah, this is 8, this is 10 in this card. If they got their cast forms up sooner, they would be able to consistently just do a bunch of damage. They could do spread damage with Hail cast form. Yeah, they have the Fire cast form to do big damage. They have Jinx to potentially stall the Pokemon V. But in the new era of the Pokemon TCG, it's all EXs, baby. There's the Primordial Altar, just waiting patiently to see what they pick. They might just be trying to run out the clock. That's possible too. That's a very sucky thing that some people will do, is they'll try and run out the clock and try and just make you concede. You know, they'll take as many game actions as they can. They'll just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait to hopefully, you know, until the timer starts to go down, to hopefully just frustrate you and make you stop playing. But they've done basically all that they can here. They know they've lost, I believe. I think that they know that there's nothing they can do. They're just waiting it out, waiting it out, and waiting it out. Don't see if there's much more, don't see many more game actions that can be taken here. So we should be done with this very shortly. I mean, obviously, if they don't play nice and they don't just lose, then I'll concede and I'll speed it up. But we're gonna wait and see what exactly they decide to do here. You know, very much so like Vespiquen. I think it's a very cool card. Right now, don't think it's the time in the meta for it. It's just Charizard is everywhere. Charizard's so much to deal with. And it's actually a little bit difficult to get damage counters on Pokemon right now. It's not as easy as it should be, or it may seem, with the amount of damage counter support we have going on. So, yeah, that's it. That's my blabbering. It is finally our turn, and we finally get to win the game with the Phantom Queen attack. We do 200 damage to Luxray. Knock it out. And hey, I mean, they do 40 damage to us up there, Revenge Punch. We take it out, get the final prize, and we get the dub against Castform, which is pretty cool, actually. Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. Tails never fails, as they did choose heads. So we're going to see what we get. And it is heads, so they're going to get to go first. But as long as we can get some energy on board, get a decent board established, it's not the end of the world here. So I think this is going to be a-okay, but they're actually going to let us go first. That's very kind of them, I will say. We're going to see what kind of setup we got here. We got the Combee, we got the Nest Ball, and this is actually a pretty solid setup. I'm curious to see what we're playing against. They got a lone Manaphy. So I think what I want to do here is just Nest Ball. Hopefully Leafeon is here. Leafeon is not here, because it never is. Never when you need it. And I think I just want to grab another Combee, probably. So we have the Gardenia in hand. I'll attach to this Combee. And we'll drop the Gapejaw, and then we will pass. Worst case scenario, we Honey Courier next turn, so it's not all doom and gloom. But I'm curious to see what we are playing up against right now. Especially because they opted to go second. I was hoping if we got Leafeon, we could almost guarantee a Vespiquen. Here's a Nest Ball coming out, so we're going to get to see the true colors of their deck. There's a Comfey, so it looks like it's some sort of Lost Zone deck. Maybe a Lost Zone Giratina. That's usually the more popular Lost Zone variant right now. Their Escape Rope is okay for us. Doesn't really matter too much. That's why I really would have loved to have Leafeon come down right now, because Leafeon could just Greening Cells, and we could guarantee basically a Vespiquen. They're selecting cards from their deck. Flower selecting, in fact. Getting rid of a Forest Seal Stone. Still might not be Turbo, still might be Giratina. Some Giratinas do play the Forest Seal. So we're going to see what exactly we are going to be up against here. And they're just going to pass, which is really good for us, actually. Draw another energy, which means it's time for Gardenia. But we don't get much off of the Gardenia. So we'll just do one, which also feels bad. But I want a Honey Courier here, so we can get Pokégear and find something, I hope. It feels really tough in a situation like this because you want to fully power up that Combee. However, you don't want to fully commit it to the active spot. I don't want to commit that Combee because if they top deck a Colress, we're basically screwed and we lose the game immediately. So if we're able to just get that Pokégear, we use the Pokégear. If we find a research, I just want to hard reset this hand. I just want to get rid of it all. Our opponent getting rid of a second Manaphy, which honestly Manaphy is just really good for us in this matchup. But that's it. They've bricked hard almost as much as we have bricked. We get the Ultra Ball as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to Ultra Ball away Leafeon VIP. We're going to grab our good pal Vespiquen. Before we evolve, though, we are going to go for the Pokégear, and we're going to grab a research. Thankfully, my prayers have been answered. We will put down Vespiquen. I'm not going to bench Manaphy, just going to go for the Escape Rope here. And just research, hope we find a Hawlucha and an energy. Found an energy, no Hawlucha, but that's okay. We can Super Rod stuff back whenever we need it. So we're going to attach here, and we're going to go for the Phantom Queen. Just do 200 damage, take out that Manaphy. Would have been nice to start spreading, but we did not find our Hawlucha. We do find EXP share, which is also very good. Don't see them taking a knockout this turn. So hopefully next turn we can use this Gardenia and find our Hawlucha if they get a little bit more of a board state, and then just start spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading all of the damage, and then just take a big KO at the end of the game. That's usually the plan with the Lost Zone decks, and it's good because you Phantom Queen, you know, you do 200 damage, and you obviously will knock out their active. So you're taking one knockout at first, but then you're taking 2 knockouts, and then you're taking 3 knockouts, for example, after all the spread damage racks up. So yeah, we've had an interesting bit of a hand here. This isn't normally how the games are going to go. Obviously, most of the time you're going to be getting your VIPs or your Nest Balls or your Ultra Balls and getting a Bidoof, getting a whatever else you need. Here is, they just conceded. They probably had absolute zero in their hand, but you know what? That's good for us. It's a dub for Vespiqueen. What do you think of my Vespiqueen EX deck? This deck is a lot of fun to play and actually surprisingly consistent and surprisingly strong. I've found that it, you know, it does what it wants to do and it does it fairly effectively. And I don't have many complaints about it. The only thing right now I feel is that it's not quite the right time for Vespiqueen. I think its time will be a little bit later after the Vs rotate out. I think that'll be a lot better for Vespiqueen because it's just too fast. Like, given the amount of support we have, I mean, we lose Gardenia, I believe, with the next rotation. Oh no, we don't lose Gardenia with the next rotation, so we'll be okay. Next rotation, Vespiqueen might be the deck to beat, but right now, with Gardenia being the only efficient way that I found to power it up, Cherrim has not worked for me. Fortress hasn't worked for me. I think Gardenia is the way you have to go for now with Mew and Bibarel as your engine. But all that said and done, the deck has been very, very fun to play. I'd like to slot in a couple more switching cards. 2 doesn't feel like enough. Could potentially get rid of a Gapejaw and put in some more switches. I think I probably will do that. I found every other card to be good and have a good use, though. I definitely think you need 4 Gardenia. I don't think you can substitute one out for another supporter. I think you need 4 Gardenia to Pokégear because it's just such an important card to have. Like, it's so important that you hit your Gardenias consistently. And they're pretty bad as a draw supporter, but with Bibarel, with Ultra Ball to thin down your hand, it's not exactly too terrible. But I'm definitely going to sub out a Gapejaw Bog for another switching card. Probably just a, what's it called? A rope, because if you hit something like a Pokemon V and then you rope them out of it and set yourself up for a multi-KO, it's a lot stronger. Manaphy also, I've found, hasn't really been needed, but it's something that you need to have in a deck like right now. As long as Radiant Greninja is super strong, you need to have Manaphy, because or else you're just going to lose to it every single time. It's just way too fast for you. But other than that, this deck has been a lot of fun to play. I've actually very much so enjoyed playing Vespiqueen, and I want to know what you think of it. So like the video if you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. Comment down below, what do you think of Vespiqueen? What do you like, what do you dislike? What would you keep and what would you change about the deck? Subscribe to the channel because I'm posting 2 or more new Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Hitmonchanting out.